Hello, it's Pixie again. I just wanted to talk about missing people and alien abduction. Basically, people go disappearing for all sorts of reasons, as we know. And with some of these ETs, they're able to pick up certain telepathic abilities they have anyway. It's not the most complicated to sort of figure out once you realise that your body is only a part of the puzzle to who you are, and that your aura is larger than your body, and that the signals from your brain go beyond your physical form. They're like microwaves off a mobile phone. They can travel out into outer space, to be honest. So it wouldn't be too hard for a particular species with the right technology who are looking for types of humans to abduct to simply be trying to tune into different frequencies to different peoples. Now, when people go to national parks, it may be some form of respite. So they may be going under some trauma, personal trauma they're dealing with. They may be depressed. They may be seeking adventure. They may be doing things with their mind they're not even aware of. Basically, somebody walks to a national park and think, I don't want to live, or whatever they're trying to find themselves. But if they had a really sort of depressive mindset, that in itself, if it's picked up, imagine that you basically, if I said it aloud, I don't want to live, and said it to a peer, his interpretation is he doesn't want his physical form anymore, and they've got a total different outlook when it comes to life, as this is only a mechanism or the vehicle for what we are. So fine, if he doesn't want his body, we'll have it. That may be the mindset. They don't realise how valuable our physical bodies are. We're just given them for fun. So you may have different species that would like to hijack human bodies or use their DNA. Some species, based on my research, some meditation and some sort of spiritual things I do, but basically, like you mentioned, the greys have got no sex organs. They're not gender specific, and as a result, they can't reproduce, and they probably lack a lot of emotional connections. They lack a certain amount of spiritual connection as well, because they're experimental and messing around with their species has resulted in them. It's just created a bunch of issues that they're trying to resolve. So they're looking to different things for them answers. And I'm aware that for some of them they already can reproduce in some ways. I mean, there are full forms basically. They do genetic engineering on themselves while they're alive. So they will, they can start from one form and actually change a little bit further down the line. There's different types and different levels as well. Some of them, like you say, have been exploited by other species and been used like drones, while some of them are more advanced. You don't know the full politics. There might be all sorts of reasons. They might have just warred with the wrong group and lost and become their political prisoners, and then now that they're the assets of a different species. But there's they said there was about 140 different types of greys or something like that. I mean, it's the same for these reptilian mindset that people have as well. There's loads of different species. The concept of the Draco Empire is that they are nearer to dinosaurs in their lineage than a reptilian. So that's one side of things. Basically getting back to the abduction, is that your DNA is quite valuable. For a period where basically there's going to be they mentioned about there's been a prison planet, and with your DNA is that it's limited to how much you can using like a fraction of the potential of it, and the different frequencies it can release, and so it's a bit of a lockdown. But when these codes come online, it can basically it will open up new levels to you. The experience is really powerful. I think the reason that's where the caution is with the prison planet idea, and putting certain controls in place. The idea of the force field of the planet is to stop or prevent basically being stolen, taken to the planet, being basically physically stolen your form, otherwise you'd be beamed straight off. So it's like a protective grid. It may have other reasons and theories. So with the abduction, they don't just need a sort of genetic sample. So they say, well, we'll take the whole form, because you're much more than just DNA. And with different mindsets, like I say, a species might think, well, he's not having a great life. They might look down on this world. They might feel sorry for this particular person. I think, I'll tell you what, we'll take him away, and we'll take him to a different planet. We'll give him a new life. But he might have entered some kind of a contract. So he might even have, if you have a better life, would you? And then he might say, yeah, sure. And that's it. He basically said, oh, when can I take the next flight out of here? So he may have been given an ultimatum. Either you go now or you don't. And they've taken it. So not all the reasons why people disappear are negative. Well, maybe some of them may get returned, so there must be a reason why they don't want them. Or they've sort of served their purpose in our study of the human species. But another thing with the codes is that they're trying to figure them out as well. They've got they're locked in place because we are in some ways a different dimensional being. I think technically it relates to the fingers because we've got 5 digits. If you notice any of the other races, they've all got like 4 or maybe less. That's due to a dimensional something like that anyway. So there was something about 7 different frequencies of light. So 7 different frequencies of intensity, and then there's others beyond that. So yeah, sort of exploring the genetic factors. There may be some people, some particular species that they're more interested in. It could be, like I mentioned before, if they've eradicated a genetic line themselves, they're looking at the humans to fill in them blanks. And we are one species. My recipe is not further down the route. There was potentially something that may have reset humanity completely, wrecked the species. There was a reason why they had to re-engineer us, basically. So, it might be a catastrophe that basically destroyed the life on this planet. And then based on what they can sort of recover from the species, they've recreated it and sort of tried to reset the clock. So a lot of life has been engineered and brought to this planet and shoved on it. That's why there's been different phases where you got like insects. I mean, first you had the plants, then you had the insects, and then you got different types of mammals come into place. You got your lizard lineage, and then so like you get your mammals further down. Now they may have all rolled out at the same time, so there might be not a set time period. But if I was going to bioengineer a planet, you wouldn't want to shove everything on there at once, because you may have a situation whereby a aggressive predator species may take out its food source, and then game over, or it's got to adapt to eat something else. We had that with an island with birds that they lost the ability to fly because there was no predators on the island. So, the source decided, well, they don't need to have wings, or this particular species existed on there. And someone brought their cat along to this island, and he was doing a research. And the cat went around killing all the birds, and eventually found one. He thought, we found a new species. But then it was too late, because all the birds were being eaten by this flu. One cat has taken out about 50 birds, because they've got no way of defending themselves. So the same rule would apply. I mean, first you'd want to let the planet be populated by plants. Then you'd move it into different phases. So I think that's some of the history behind it. And then further down the line, you've got the ET type wars. I mean, and there was Atlantis seemed to be some sort of intergalactic council here or something, or basically other species. Like I say, this become a bit of a world for immigrants. Literally, well before ISIS. I'm just joking about that. But basically, from different situations, or different planets, different worlds, people joined the project and come across and have integrated it. There's lots of different stuff, and there's also species that have tried to interfere with different humans that have come across and meant to have tried to bred flaws into the species, because they don't want us to ascend into a more higher, powerful form, because they feel threatened by it. Basically, it's the same. It's like the old story of the jinn. Basically, they wouldn't bow down to humans because they didn't see what we had as superior. But what they didn't have is they don't have the capacity to create from their minds things that we do. That at the moment they are imaginary, but at some point they might be like, oh well, I want this, bang. Or you can just change something. So that's a sort of godlike ability. So we've become the new architects in the universe. That's basically how it feels. I mean, they are like the type of, they're an intellectual race. Like you've got the jinn, and they're not limited to where they can go. They're free world, intelligent. And why you've got different. Now they call them angels, but angels could also fall into aliens. Basically, if you're not on this planet at the moment, you could basically say, because you come from a different place, you're alien. I mean, you could say the creator's alien to this planet, even though the planet was created by the creator in that sense. If you just want to argue politicals and theories and stuff like that. So beings, but the difference with them is they mentioned about things being free-willed and not free-willed. Some of the races have a contractual agreement to prime source creator, whatever you call it. There's lots of different names for God. God's just a label. I mean, I also know God's the Oracle. That was mentioned to me a long time ago. But yeah, basically, it's much more complicated than the simple history that we might have here on Earth. And as a result, that's why some of them are working for us. And some species have broken away from their agreement, or they have entered a sort of free will state and decided, you know what, I'm going to do what we want. And so they've gone off and done their own thing. But as a result, they might limit themselves in some way. They're all different expressions of the creator as well. So it's kind of like a connection. We've got an issue where people will be either independent, self-reliant and self-reliant to create their own universes for themselves, or you've got people that want to take what's already here, more equivalent, and working for the benefit of others because they already feel content in what they are. And then you've got the film, Marvel film Ultron, and you've got how you've got two virtual demigod type beings at the end of it. One of them he wasn't properly integrated to what he became, and as a result it becomes sort of this selfish being that wants to, well, the enemy is man, so all man must be removed as a problem. And basically all sorts of ideology. The ideology is wrong, the doesn't matter what you are, it can take you down a different road. You know, some people don't question it, then they stay on a straight path. Others, they question it and they deviate either towards a positive or negative side of reality. It's a bit like how, you know, how a speech might review human beings. They might see us like an insect or an inferior being, especially as some of us have been done down anyway. And when they look at that and think, well, okay, well, counts to us, there's loads of them. Let's just pick what we want and I'll pick one sort of thing. So yeah, anyway, so sort of explore these issues and what people are missing and you know, and how the ET content fits into it. So this is an art and wish you a good day.